Hello and welcome. We are kicking off our Happy at Home today for April the 20th. And I am so excited that you're here joining me. My name is Alice Bull and I run the membership group at scraphappy.org. We would love to have you come and join our Scrap Happy family. But today we are going to dive into the world of stamping. And we're going to look at Turnabout stamps because when I first saw these stamps, they kind of blew my mind. And I know I've talked about them during other Happy at Home sessions in other years, but I just love these, you guys. So we're going to talk about them today. And I'm like running a couple minutes late because I was trying to find one of the layouts that I've showed you this week. And I'm like, oh, I didn't look in this pile. Maybe it's in this pile. I cannot find it. I cannot find it anywhere. But it is such a fun one that I made with these turnabouts and I can't find it. So what we're going to be doing, we'll just recreate some of it. So Gina says hello. Donna says, hey, y'all. I love y'all. Karen saying hi. Lauren saying hello. Welcome. I'm so glad that you joined us for the session. So we are going to talk about stamping. Now, one of the things that I've discovered and been guilty, so guilty as charged, is that sometimes we buy stamps thinking, oh my gosh, they're so versatile. I can use them over and over and over again. And then we just don't. Like, what is with us? Like, why would we buy them, spend all this money on them, and then not use them? And I think sometimes it's that we're a little intimidated by them, right? It can happen. Sometimes we get a little intimidated by them. But I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to be like that. It's all good. It doesn't have to be like that. We can do super fun things with stamps. So I am going to, right off the top, refer you to a video that I made recently. It is called Stretch Your Stamps, and it's about stamping with background stamps. Now, I kind of cheated. I didn't just use background stamps on that video because, you know, there's lots of fun stamps. So instead, I created my whole page using stamps and not just background stamps. So I'm going to show you that right now. Let's see, do I have room on my desk? Like, seriously, I brought so many things out here and I've got leftovers from other things that my desk is feeling a little crowded, but it's all good. So let me show you this page first. Okay, so this is the page that I created for the Stretch Your Stamps Challenge. It was in collaboration with Shoe Puff Designs. And oh my gosh, she's such an inspiration, you guys. Check out her channel. It's like CHOUX Puff Designs, okay? So Shoe Puff. And oh my gosh, so incredible. But I was participating in this Stretch Your Stamps. She does this as a series where she invites a few different YouTubers to join her and do videos in a collaboration. So I did that, I think it was December? Maybe? January? Maybe? I can't even remember. That's terrible. Which month, but this is the page that I put together. And every single thing that you see here has been stamped. I did all of it. So I talked about layered stamps when I created this rose background. And you can see that there are multiple layers of color in those roses. Right? Let me get a better hand on this. So those roses are hand stamped. I also stamped this beautiful stripe that goes down this side. That's a stamp as well. And I used that one. I created an extra rose so that I could have it as an embellishment. I stamped this cute little dotted stripe that runs up and down the page right here. I stamped this background paper right here. And I also stamped my letter titles with the ombre kind of gradient colors. And then I've also stamped this green piece with all of the lines right there. So let's talk about stamping, how awesome it can be, and how we need to just get more of it into our stuff if we spent money on this. Now, first, I think we should talk about what kinds of stamps are actually versatile and which ones are kind of just made for card makers. Like, it happens. Nadine, hello. So happy to be here live with you today, she says. Nadine, I'm so grateful that you joined me. So I think, is it hooked up to your channel? Do you want to like give your channel a shout out? I'll put you up on the screen. Tell everybody what your channel is called. Because I was just on your channel and you were sharing these 5-minute tip videos. So fun. Oh my gosh. Okay. Totally unplanned. This is how it works, you guys. Okay, so this is my basket that I have for Concord and 9th stamps. I'm going to tell you, this is a company I kind of fell in love with. I kind of fell in love with this company. They are so great and make such cool products. Like, I am just like, I'm in. I'm in. Like, that's it. So I do have several of their stamps. I have some of their dies, and I have several of their Turnabout stamps too, which I think are super fun. So let's just kind of give you a little introduction to some of the things. Now, not every, maybe we'll just pull this section out first. Ugh. Let's talk about what works for scrapbookers and what's kind of more for cards. Now, lots of times when we see sentiments, they're kind of better for cards. Like, how many times do you need to say thank you on your scrapbook pages? You know, that's more of a thank you card thing, right? But that's okay. I think having some phrases like this, they can get worked into our pages. Let me just give you an example. Here we go. Our beauty shines from within. So having little phrases, that can definitely be a cool thing. Are they American? As I've never heard of them, says Karen. Yes, so you can find out more about them. And actually, if you happen to do shopping, you could use my affiliate link that is available on the scraphappy.org faves page. So if you go to that link right there that I'm showcasing, and it's linked in the description below this video, then I will have an affiliate link there. But you can just shop there. They're totally wonderful. I just get a little something special if you happen to shop using my link. So Paper Route Scrapbooking, says Nadine. This is the name of her channel, Paper Route Scrapbooking. Please check her out. Her video is wonderful. I just watched one of her 5-minute tips, and she kitted out all the supplies. Well, not maybe all the supplies, but basic kits for 7 or 9 layouts, something like that, in a matter of 5 minutes. And her method of doing that, going through the photos, going through the supplies you need, was so good. Please go and check it out. Paper Route Scrapbooking. So, love it. Anyway, so we're talking about these Concord and 9th, and let's just talk about like what works for scrapbookers. So first off here, those little phrases, they're not super useful for scrapbooking. Let's just be real. And as April says, ooh, poppies are my favorite. And I love this poppy. And I think that that's a good image that works for scrapbooking because of the size of it. Now, when we get little teensy tiny flowers, lots of times those are too little for scrapbooking, for like most of our scrapbooking. So the size of this image is pretty good for scrapbooking. In fact, oh shoot, I've just moved so many things on my desk right now, I don't even know, but I have used this on a scrapbook page. In fact, we did something with this stamp during a Happy at Home last year. There's some things, so let's have a look. Right here we see these brushed stripe background stamp set. So this is a background stamp set, so it's a great big, you know, image, and obviously that's not big enough for a background when you're looking at a scrapbook page. However, let's see anything here. It works totally fine to make a strip down your page for a scrapbook page when you're just making part, right? So I think that when we look at stuff like this, these stripes going like this, is super easy to translate. And what I really loved about this set is these little polka dots allow you to change this up in different ways, and the little dashes. You can add them in between. You could add them over top. You can use these. Oh, let me write that down. We're going to do that today. We'll do a resist technique. Resist. And actually, I'm thinking of pulling off. Okay, so whatever. We'll have a look at that. But for me, this is a great one for scrapbooking. April says, yes, I like large images, even as a card maker, but bonus for scrapbookers, right? Set this aside. Yeah, we saw the little stripes, the little dashes. Those made it on there. More little pieces. These are dies. This big polka dots. Now, I'm going to say this is going to be hard to line up if you need it to be perfectly lined up. With the stripes, you've got natural spaces in between them. The polka dots aren't going to perfectly line up for you. However, what you can do is have something that crosses over, right? How many times do we have a strip that goes across our page? And so you might not notice that there's a couple pieces of this. Part of it is hiding behind what you're doing. So even though it's a big background, it doesn't perfectly work out for making an uninterrupted, seamless, that's what I'm looking for, a seamless piece, it would still be cool. And you can see they've included more polka dots, they've included individual ones, they've got some with texture. They've really given you a lot of options to play with. Another stripe one, same thing, works really good. Scrapbooking, yes. Now here's one that I ended up with. This isn't one that I ordered. Well, okay, technically yes, it's one that I ordered, but it's one that came out in a bundle. So this was in a bundle. This is not a stamp set. Like, as much as we do go outside in the cold weather and all that, how many times am I gonna put these little characters onto my scrapbook pages? Once? Maybe, probably that's it at most. So having these little characters, even with like a few phrases that I can use, living in a cold climate, it's still not that practical. But I do like the fact that it has the stamps that let you like color in the different pieces of the image just quickly and easily by stamping them, two-step stamping. Such a fan. But not practical for stamping. I could make a cute card. This is not a very versatile stamp set. I'm just saying, it's not going to get a lot of use. I do like this great big flower. It's actually a really cool, they have a die that goes with it, and you can do the coolest card. Oh, I don't know if I have that sitting on my desk. If I do, I'll have a look in a bit and see if it's sitting here. But it makes the coolest card. But for me, like this big flower poking out from underneath a photo. Nice, right? Nice. So good. This one is a certain type of card as well. It's like a special shaped card similar to the flower. And so that's why I picked it up. But, you know, having a row of candles in a big arch like that, not super useful, right? So it's kind of more of a one way to use it kind of thing. A rainbow builder, we've seen this on a page that I've shared this month for sure, and it's a rainbow builder set. So you stamp each little piece of your rainbow in different colors, and if you want to sub in some of the different texture ones instead, or put them over top, you have options for that so that you can kind of alternate between texture and not. So they give you a few different options. You know, once you have a rainbow set in your arsenal, you're probably good with one. I probably have 4. So it's kind of a matter of, at this point, do I need to keep 4? Probably not. This one I like because it gives me some other options to play with, and that makes it better. This set here with this great big beautiful word that says wonderful, I could put that onto a scrapbook page. I can put that onto a card. Is it versatile for scrapbooking? If I use it, it's a one-time use, right? Am I going to keep using it? No. So that's kind of how I look at these pieces. This is a different set that has pieces that layer in here. So I really like layer sets. Let me have a look. Yeah, ones that you get more uses of, I definitely appreciate a lot. I had recently done this balloon one, and I think balloons being a generic party thing, right, for birthdays and stuff, for me, balloons make sense. And the fact that I have the solid balloons in 2 different sizes is really good for scrapbooking. If there was a third, that would be better. And just for making little clusters. But then I can also decorate them with some of the different pieces to make them look fancy. And so I appreciate some of those parts that they put into there. So that's kind of the thing. Is the washi tape your method for bundling stamps and matching dies? Yes. I don't know if there's probably a better way, but whenever I have pieces that go together, I washi tape them together and then I just keep them in my package. So yes, I do bundle the stuff together. Anything that has a part that belongs together, they get bundled like that. So I don't know, just maybe something like so that the pieces don't end up separate and you're like, oh, I didn't even know I had a die for that. Okay. So that's just looking at some general stamps. And one of the things that we will look at now are turnabouts. Now, I think most of this section here is my collection of turnabouts. I went all in, you guys. I went all in. I love these things. So here's my turnabouts. Here's my turnabout jig. We'll talk about that too, how to use it. I do have a couple other stamps in here, and I've got some dies, and I've got some alphas. They have some pretty great alphas, I'm just gonna say. This bold and brushy alpha, so nice to work with, especially because they've done things like giving you a double L and a double T. Just makes your letters flow together so nice. I have some other ones. These ones are some of my favorites. They're tall, they're skinny, so it's great to spell out words on your layouts. Dun, da, 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 right? Like, you guys can see how much I love this company, right? But they also like, you could also get the outlines, and you could also get dies so that you can cut them out. Yeah, so I'm liking this a lot. Anyways, so just versatility for stamps. That's what we've talked about, right? How do they translate to scrapbooking? Those letters, super great for scrapbook titles, right? Those tall, skinny, so they kind of fit together. Some letters are really fat, and then you just can't get all the letters you need onto your page sometimes. If you spell out inspired in some alphas, it's gonna like take up your whole page, which can be fine. But, you know, you don't always want that. Okay, so this first one, you may have noticed, this is the one that I used for this green behind the photo. This is called On the Diagonal Turnabout Stamp. Now, how do turnabout stamps work? They're cool. So a turnabout stamp is a stamp that you will stamp 4 times. So let's have a little look at the back of the package. The first time you stamp it, you get this. And you can change colors, you don't have to. Generally I do, because like more colors equals more fun generally. But you turn the stamp 90 degrees. So like that. Then you add your next color. Now the cool thing is, once you've mounted the stamp onto your platform, you're not turning your stamp, so you're not peeling it off and sticking it. That would be a pain in the butt. Instead, you are just moving your paper. So limitations, 12 by 12, not really working very well. Probably could do it with that giant Misty. Don't have one of those yet, so I haven't had a chance to try that, but I think that would be super, super fun and would allow me to do a few things. But yeah, we're not going there yet. Third time you stamp it, you get this. Fourth time you stamp it, you get that whole filled in colors, right? So fun. Okay, so what do you do? How do you set it up? How can you use it? So you can see here that I have created this block, and this went in the background behind my photo. And I thought, my goodness, does that ever frame that size of photo so well, right? Another thing I've done, and I was looking for that layout to show you, I showed a hedgehog layout the other day and I can't find it anywhere on my desk. You guys, pulling out all this stuff is so fun, so I can show you all the cool stuff, but I don't have it here anymore. On the hedgehog layout, however, I took several of these, a little bit smaller ones, and I created a whole patchwork with 9 of them across the background of the page. So there's a lot of ways to go ahead and use them even for our scrapbooking. And that's like my number one goal. So how do we set it up? So first off, they kind of sell 2 different sizes generally. So there's the little ones and then there's the big ones. And so these ones are kind of designed on a 6-inch and these ones are designed on a 4-inch. So you can kind of compare the size there. And most of them, they kind of fit into one of those 2 sizes. So I've got this cool one with the polka dots. I've got this one with the snowflakes. Now it's really cool because if you look at this snowflake one, there's the snowflake turnabout part, but they've also managed to sneak some other images in there that those areas get filled as you turn it around, and then you can still fill in and it's a full background like this. See? You can stamp it once and you could totally use that. You could stamp it twice. You could stamp it 3 times, or you could create a fully filled in background with the 4th time. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, this is another one that I got in a bundle. Birdie Talk. It has little birds on it. It has little things. It's not a one that's very versatile for me. So I'm not that excited about this one, to be honest. This wood grain one. Totally beautiful. It's marble, so it actually doesn't look like wood grain when you stamp it. It looks like marble. Yeah, so pretty. This one they call it Mosaic. And it's cool because it actually has 2. There's 2 turnabouts on this set, and you can set it up and use them together, or you can use them separately. Little teeny tiny ones. And they do have a few sets like this one that, hard to see. There's 2 sets in here. So you have a florals and you have a leaves. So there's 2 turnabouts in this one pack. And this one gives you all the florals, which you can use, or you can do just the leaves, or you can use them both together and put all the florals and the leaves together. Like seriously, this one's amazing. It's called Bloom's Turnabout. Is it brand new in their shop? No. So will they have it? No. But will they put out other things like this? Or they may have it. So they may have it. Like don't let me say they don't have it. But it's not this year's release. Anyways, some of these you can see multiple things on some of them so that you have different turnabouts. Even this one, so cool. This is the little sunshine one. It's adorable. Okay, so let's make something and let's talk about fun things that we can do with our sets. Now, I did show you the template. There we go. So you may wish to get one of these Turnabout Jigs. And this is basically just a little plastic sheet that shows you where to set things up when you're lining it up on your board. So you can put your jig down and then you can put your image on there. What do you guys say? Should we do this floral one? Do you guys want to see the floral one with the 2? So fun. Okay, let's take some of this off my desk so that I have some space to work. We'll put that up there. Okay, so they have included these little jigs here, And if you look here, like this will tell you where it fits with your card fronts, like a regular size card front, like a quarter fold card front. But, you know, if you have this piece, you probably don't especially need, like, but you can use it to line it up. So you put it on here, you have a look, make sure that everything is centered and lined up. The thing is, these may not be cut perfectly square, whereas this is actually perfectly square. So you line it up here, and then you're going to take your stamp, and you're going to just line your stamp up on top of here. So getting a little jig definitely makes your life a little easier. Okay, now this is the hardest part of the whole thing, is figuring out which part lines up and making it line up exactly. Can I do it in front of me? You want this to be perfectly lined up, but okay. The better you are at actually just following the directions and lining it up, the better your results will be, because you'll get the crossing over of the things. Everything will fall into the right place. So I'm putting this right in the corner. I'm putting this perfectly lined up at the center of rotation. It all looks lovely. The next thing I do is I'm gonna close this and pick up the stamp. And now I can peel this little piece off. I can take this plastic jig out of here, and I've got this perfectly mounted. So it's just exactly in the right spot now. Now I'm gonna just show you really quick here. This jig here is exactly 6 by 6, okay? So if I cut my paper to exactly 6 by 6, we're gonna be all set and ready to go. Oh. I can barely get my paper cutter out, so we're gonna set this aside. We're gonna just trim this to 6 by 6, and we'll have a couple pieces of it so that we can play. And once we show the turnabout, then I'll show you some other stuff. Now I know I'm taking forever to do this, but normally you're not like talking through all the stuff. And I actually do have a really quick tutorial video on my YouTube channel that teaches you how to do it. And of course, Concord and Ninth has their own tutorial videos too. But if you like me, then maybe you'll like my video. So you can always watch that. Okay, so we've cut this paper. It is now 6 by 6. We are gonna pop it right in here. I've got the leaves on here. We're gonna put these little magnets on here. And I'm just gonna make sure that when I'm placing this down, that it's not going to be in the way. We might have to move it as things turn, okay? So, and you might look at this and think, oh my gosh, did I line it up wrong? It's not in the center. Totally fine. You've lined it up right. You used the jig. You lined it up. You did a good job. So no worries. Okay, we're going to take some parsley. These are the Concord and Ninth inks, if you haven't seen them. They use like the sponge foam, not like a linen or whatever, like the fabric-y ones are. They're like a sponge foam. I think they're quite juicy and lovely. At some point, I'm probably going to need refills because I do like these a lot. Recently, I did start picking up some of the Gina K inks, which I also like. She has a wider range of colors. However, I really do like most of their colors. There's one that I actually hate, but most of their colors I really like. So, okay, here we go. And April, do you know if there was still spots available in their camp? Last summer I did a Concord and Ninth camp, and they had such fun classes. Now it's imperfectly inked, right? Which is part of having it on your platform. You can just go back and add more if you've kind of missed a couple spots when you've inked it, because it's a little imperfect here. Yeah, but they had what they call the Concord and Ninth summer camp last year, and they had some fun classes that were so cool. I was a big fan, and I signed up for the one for this year. So if anybody's interested, you can check that out on the Concord tonight. I don't know if there's spots still available or if they've sold out. So maybe I feel guilty about telling you about it. If you can't get in anymore, I'll feel a little guilty. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take it and turn it. Now, I don't know what they recommend, if you turn it clockwise or counterclockwise. It really doesn't matter. You're gonna turn it, and you're gonna turn it, and you're gonna turn it. So as long as you're consistent. So I'm gonna turn it clockwise because, you know, most of the things we do, you turn clockwise. And we're gonna just pop that back in there. It's nothing else to do. I'm gonna take my sprout color, which is my paler green than this, and we're gonna stamp that in, and we're gonna go like this. And you'll notice that the leaves get close to each other. Sometimes they may overlap, but generally they're going in the empty spaces beside. They really don't overlap very much. Yeah. So we'll pop that in there and get this stamped. I really need to get one of those things, right? Like one of those big jigs that you push your pressure things, right? Okay. There we go. So those are already looking super cute. And then I'm gonna just take this and wipe it off again. I use a stamp chamois from Lawn Fawn. I've had it for a long time, and I like how they clean, and I like that they don't leave little bits. The chamois are a really good adaptation. So we're going to take this and we're going to turn it clockwise again. Another turn. And you'll see like there's spaces getting all filled in here. I'm going to take the sea glass color because it's like this lovely minty, almost blue, kind of still greenish. We're going to use that one for one of these layers. Get that in there. And then just make sure it's nice and dark enough. Always pushing to make sure that you're always tight in the corner in between. Just because as you lift your stamp, sometimes it can slide a little bit. You know, ideally it's holding in its spot, but you know, sometimes it moves. So just always just go ahead and kind of keep it in there. Okay. So that looks good. And then final color. What do I want for my final color? Let's wipe this off. Just a quick little wipe is good. I'm gonna go with the teal. It's not called teal, it's called Oceanside. We're gonna go with that. And then I'm gonna give my thing. And if you're like concerned that maybe you forgot to flip it, you can just like have a look and you'll see, oh, that still lines up with stuff. And then you'll know you gotta rotate it one more time. So it's all good. So in this, you're gonna still see gaps. Remember, because we're gonna do the florals next. So fun. Yeah. I'm not seeing comments come through, so if somebody's saying something, I'm not seeing it, just in case. So tell me, have you seen this product before? Have you tried it? Or have you bought one and thought, uh-oh, nope. What was I supposed to do with this thing? Or I think they can look intimidating, right? They can look intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. They're actually, oh, look, I didn't get enough pressure in here at all. Yes, the Stamptabulous pressure tool, says Nadine, and she loves it. So I think that's what we need to get. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp this one final time. I think this will be it. And we look at this and we're thinking, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful and leafy and beautiful, and I could totally take that and use it on my page, right? And, you know, because it's a 6x6, you could use these and use like little windows. Maybe you're going to trim it down just a little bit, and then you can, you know, put a different color in the background and then do like 4 little tiles of this. You know, you can do a lot of different things, but I really love it. And like, look at how cool it looks with the different colors. Now, if you wanted to just use all greens, you could use all greens. If you wanted to do like 1st generation and 2nd generation stamping so that some of them are lighter, you could totally do that. You could always slip a extra sheet of scratch paper in and stamp off a layer so that you can create a really softer layer for some of the leaves. You have a lot of options when you're doing this. Okay, but this set is pretty cool because it also works with the florals. So we're going to pop this back in here. We're going to clean this off up here, and we're going to take this off up here, right? So this is how it works if you have some that go together. Now, seriously, the engineering that they have to do to make this work, those guys are geniuses. They're geniuses. I love the engineering part of these, and that's one of the things that just makes me love it. Like, smart products, right? I just love smart products. Okay, so we've got the little leaf guide, and we're going to put the leaves back onto my stamp sheet. Pull those off of here. Here's the other hard part, is lining up, making sure you got them in the right spot. It's just easier when you put them in the right spot, right? And then we're going to take the florals off of here. And we're going to take the little floral liner upper sheet and the little stamp jig. So I'm just going to take this out. I can just leave my paper there. Just going to leave the stamp jig, and I'm going to make sure I get that center rotation point and the lines perfectly lined up. And if you need to, like, you can pull this out so you can see it a little bit better. These little dashed lines are kind of important to line them up so that you know that you have the right rotation, just in case this little paper isn't very square. Sometimes the little plastic sheets aren't very square. Yeah, so Gina says, how can you get that on a 12 by 12? So I would just make multiple of these and bring them to my 12 by 12, which is definitely like how I've used them in the past. Okay, so now we're going to lay this stamp down, and we're going to make sure it is all lined up carefully. And I'm actually just looking through the little almost like berry parts and making sure that as soon as you can see the little darkness of the berries through the berry parts, you know you got it really lined up. Okay, so now making sure this is in the corner, putting this in here, getting all of the lines perfectly lined up. Don't let it move. And then picking it up. So once you've got it lined up, now I'll be good to go, right? Now I'll be good to go. Take the stamp jig out, and let's have a look at how that first layer just brings it in. Okay, so we used these colors before, and now we're gonna do our florals. So let's start with sorbet. And I like their sorbet color. It's kind of orangey peachy, so nice. Yeah, but if you wanted to get it right on the background of a 12 by 12, that would be a challenge. I'm kind of tempted to try it sometime though and see if I can make it work. But the thing is, it's going to be a small area. You have to be able to turn and turn and turn and keep that center point lined up, right? Like, that's really important that your center point is where you turn. And because the stamps themselves aren't marked to show you, some people do draw them on their stamps. They mark the little center point and they'll put little lines on their stamps, but you know, is that going to stay long term? I don't know. So here's what you're going to see as you bring this over. You're going to see the florals going into the spaces in between the leaves, because genius designers, what can we say? So you can see them going in there. And like, I'll just go ahead and I'll do another one. Making sure it's still pushed in the corner. Oh, I got my fingerprints on there, guys. Hopefully it'll just get covered by one of the other colors. But obviously I touched part of my stuff here. It's already, like, you can see where this is going, and it's like, oh, this is gonna be pretty. Okay, so we'll clean off the sorbet, and we're gonna go in with, oh gosh, look at my fingers. My thing needs a good cleaning, I think. My thing needs a good cleaning. Okay, we're gonna go in with Honeysuckle, which is their pinkest pink color. Like, not baby pink. They have one called Ballet Slipper that is also quite nice. So we're gonna go in with this pink one. And I'm sure somebody's asking, like, they're still saying, but Alice, you said you don't like one of the colors. So look, I didn't turn my thing. It's easy to see that. So now we're gonna give it that little quarter turn and go in and, like, if I went in on the same exact spot, whatever, I make slightly pinkish oranges flowers on that layer, right? Like, not the worst. It would be cool. I'm sure it would still be cool. Okay. This looks good. And we're gonna go in with the next quarter turn and clean this off. Yeah, I should definitely take a little time and clean this tool a little bit. Didn't I have horrible times with cleaning stuff when I was doing that no line watercolor? I should have learned my lesson there. Cleaned out my stuff really good. Okay, now we're gonna go in with Buttercup because yellow will make it extra pretty. Okay, make sure it's pushed in the corner. I usually just do 2 layers unless, like, one of the layers didn't, like, feel good, and then I'll do a third. But oh, this is so pretty. This is so pretty. Okay, let's take the yellow off, give it our final spin, and now I'm like debating, like, what color should I do for the final color? Maybe I'll do the ballet pink. Light pink on there? Do I like that? I think so. We'll go with the ballet pink. Okay. And filling in those last spots. So, oh yeah, that looks nice. Get those last spots all filled in. I'm just gonna do a last one because this is such a pale color. I want it to pop as much as possible. There we go. You guys want to see? Oh, right? So pretty. I know. It's so pretty. Check it out. How lovely is that? Oh, and you saw, like, I just used the colors that they have in their collection. I'm not, like, doing any fancy color stuff, but, like, it looks so nice, right? Like, all of the detail, all of those spaces filled in. I could have done it just with the leaves. I could have done it just with the florals, but bringing it all together, so pretty. And, like, if I make more of these using those same colors, And then I put those all together on a background, creating a background. Or even if I just do a couple more, one thing that I've done is use slightly different color palettes, right? So maybe I would do one of these all just with pinks and different shades of pink and maybe even red. And then the next one might be all oranges and yellows. And then having those different color palettes across the page, right? And so then I just take this and, you know, I could leave it like this, but then you're going to have like these big white splotches in between. So what I would do is I would just trim this down now and then use that on a background so that I can place them in kind of the right spot to get the look that I want. I know. Their engineering of these things is so brilliant, you guys. It's just, they're just beautiful. And you saw how easy they are to set up. And of course, this one takes more because you're doing 2 different turnabout stamps. But when you're just doing one, it's actually pretty quick. Once you know how to lay them out, that is the thing. Once you know how to put them on the thing, then you're laughing. Like from there, it's easy. So I'm gonna put my florals back on here, pull them off, and let's see if I can line them up on here. Good to go. And just making sure that I keep these 2 little rotation guides with the pack when I put them away, right? It's really important to kind of keep those together. And then you just need like the 1 turnabout jig. And if you don't have a turnabout jig, you can make your own. I did not have one of these in the beginning. You just take one of these papers and fold it from corner to corner, fold it the other way from corner to corner, and now you have a turnabout jig. Ta-da! Like, it doesn't have to be hard. So even if you don't get that extra little turnabout jig, you're fine. You can do it. So anybody that doesn't have that, but they maybe have a turnabout set, it's okay. Okay. So let me show you a quick and easy one with one of the little ones. Okay. Here, we're gonna do this little tiny one. Like, it doesn't look like much, right? It's like, it's kind of boring almost. But look at what it does. Oh my gosh, this thing just wrapped. Okay, so look at what it does. See here, the rotation guide to help you get things lined up. And even though I have like this big turnabout jig, I could do, I could have a smaller turnabout jig, or I can just do this the same on a 6x6 paper. So you can use a smaller paper for this, but you don't have to. You'll see it even says like this side up. It helps you like with so much for lining it up. And now this one I'm going to tell you is a little trickier to line up because, you know, it's like, which way is the right one? But here we go. It looks like I picked it out right easily out of the packet for once. So that's awesome. I'm just going to kind of hover over till I see the lines kind of popping through the stamps. And then I'll know that I have it lined up right. I'll put this in here. I'll line it back up on that center lines, looking at the parts here, making sure that those are lined up as well. So not just making the center line up, but making sure that these lines along the side are also lined up. Pop it in there, take it out, good to go. Grab another sheet. I cut like 4 of those, right? So I've got another sheet of this. And then we're gonna stamp this quick and easy, guys. Quick and easy. We're making a sunshine here. I got a lot on my thing. So, stamp. It's almost perfect. I could do one more just to make sure. Push, push, make sure it's in. And then we're gonna give this a turn. Okay, so that was my buttercup. I'm gonna go in with some grapefruit. And I'll just give this a second one as well. And then I'm gonna go in with my marmalade, which is a really brighter orange. Yeah. Making sure I turned it because I thought for a second that I didn't. Like, did I not turn it? No, I did. I'm fine. It's all good. This one would have covered up the last color anyways because it's so bright. That orange. It's a good orange. And then we'll give this our final little turn. And I don't have another yellow. This is the color that I actually don't like, you guys. It's called Stardust. And it's like, I think it looks like baby poop. So I don't love this color. But that's okay. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Because it's going to look great with this. And so here we go with the Stardust color. And now I have this great little starburst sun thing here. And it includes, like, the stamp set includes a little sunshine, or you can put like little sayings in the middle, which are really cute. It even has a little banner. I thought it was kind of cute, and I would definitely put some of these on my scrapbook page. So I like it. Now, one of the things that will happen if you don't line up your stuff really well with your jig and with your lineup guide, when you stamp something like this one, especially like this one, what will happen is these little sunbursts are not going to end in a nice little circle. Sophia says, rolling on the floor laughing, baby poop was literally the first thing that came to my head before you said it. But it looks good in here, right? It looks good in here. It's good in here. But this is not my favorite color, and somebody with Concord Night really likes it because they use it a lot on their stuff, and I'm like, ugh. Generally, I don't use that one a lot, but here it makes sense. Here it's good. So if you want that nice little circle to be really nice and circle, lining up that the stamp really well. I didn't like Stardust at first, says Misty, but it's growing on me. Yeah. So I don't know that they know about my dislike for their color. I like the rest of their colors. I will say the rest of their colors are lovely. So this is fun with these. And I'm looking and I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to talk about this with stamping and this was stamping and this was stamping. We didn't get to talk about enough things today with stamping at all. So guess what we'll do tomorrow? We'll do more fun stuff with stamping. So I really, I love these, you guys. I think they're just really cool. It's such a neat product to use. I love the engineering behind them. Let me put this back on my set here so I can look up. I think the engineering behind them is so cool. Like, to be able to like think about how it's gonna fit when you turn it and you turn it and you turn it and you get all the layers together. Oh, it just makes me happy to see that. And I think they're a really fun company. So just to remind you, like if you're shopping, you can go and click my affiliate link for Concord and 9th if you want. No pressure. Their supplies are also carried at scrapbook.com, Cherry on Top, and I have both of those linked as my faves too. So depending on where you like to shop, you can check out those products if you're interested. No pressure. Sometimes we just see something cool and we enjoy it. But I really like, I I like their engineering behind their products. I really like the company and the things that they release. And I feel that a lot of their products, not all of them, like I showed you through some of my stamps, some of them don't work as well for scrapbooking, but a lot of the larger images, a lot of these really fun things, I can bring them into my scrapbook pages, and it makes a lot of sense for what I'm doing. Like, it's just really fun, and I can make custom colors, and I can, bring that to exactly what I want to create on my page. And I so wish I knew where the hedgehog page was, because it is so perfect for using this. It'll turn up. Maybe I'll have it to show you tomorrow when we talk some more about stamping. So tomorrow we'll look at different techniques with stamping that we can do and all of the stuff. Nadine, exactly. She says that little sunburst would make a cute base for embellishment clusters. Oh, whoops, that wasn't the right one. This one is the one. It moved just as I was clicking. The little sunburst would make a cute base for embellishment clusters, right? You tuck this in the corner of the page and have that kind of poking out, and then you put your little bits on top. So good. So good. Yeah, lots of fun things. Coming still this month. I am excited because we have enough days to do more fun things. Next Tuesday, mark your calendar for sure for Tuesday, because on Tuesday we are talking all about title letters, making our own title letters, and how we can have fun mixing up our title letters and doing fun things to them to kind of customize them, create cool effects. And I have a special guest coming to join me. Sarah Scraps is coming to join me for our Scrap School. So normally Scrap School is just for Scrap Happy members, but next Tuesday we're going to bring Scrap School live to Happy at Home. And so we are going to be able to look at all of the fun things from our Scrap School and making title letters on Tuesday. So that's the only one that I can say, hey, that's for sure what we're doing. Yeah. Stardust works with other things. By itself, I'm skeptical. I love it. I know. I'm like, what is this color? Who wanted baby poop? Seriously. But their other colors are so nice. Seriously. Their aqua sky and their sea glass colors, they're pretty, so pretty. Those are colors. Even if you collect other stamps, other ink pads, those are your things, and you're just oh, maybe I'll try one. Those are the two I would say. Try these ones. They're lovely. The other one that is surprisingly amazing is this grapefruit color. And those would be the ones that I would say, get those ones. They're awesome. So, all the fun stuff. Thank you everyone for joining me for this Happy at Home. I'll just give you a quick reminder. We have a load coming up in 10 days. And that is called Load 522 Build Your Story. So it runs through the month of May. We're scrapbooking every day in May, inspired by some of the greatest architecture in the world. And Scrap Happy members have automatically access. I look weird like this. This is hilarious. They automatically are included in this challenge. So Scrap Happy members don't have to do anything. But if you want to sign up for this challenge, you can sign up. You don't have to be a member. And you can do that at scraphappy.org/load. And if you've ever struggled to find the stories for your pages, to tell good stories for your pages, try Load. If you've struggled to have a creative habit where you wanted to scrapbook every single day for a month, if you don't even think that's possible, we will show you that you can. I learned that lesson the first time I did a Load challenge. Never thought I could have scrapbooked every day for a month. My pages took 5 hours, 6 hours, and I'd look at them why did that take 5 or 6 hours? I really didn't do anything that special. So, yeah, hilarious and fun. Lynn says, I'm going to look for one of these stamp sets tomorrow. Yay! I just think they're amazing, and I love to talk about the companies that make great things. I love to support the companies that make the products that I love. So Yes, I do have an affiliate link. If you choose to use it, then that's great. If you're in an actual store somewhere and they have it, oh, like that'd be so great. But yeah, like I want to support the companies that are making the products that I love. So Concord and Ninth is one of them. And I really love what they're doing as they're making their card making stuff. It's working so good for my scrapbooking. Like, is this whole thing Concord and Ninth? I don't think it's all. No, the brush stripe, the on the diagonal, and all the letters. So the stripe, this turnabout here, and the letters were all Concord and Ninth. I also